welcome to Foreigner in the Philippines. So we are in Tobico now, I think, yeah. So it's Sunday afternoon, so we just arrived after church. We're just gonna go to Alvin's place here in Tobico. What's the news?
Well, there's no news, is there? Alvin, I really hate to say goodbye to Alvin because he was, for me, the gold standard of a happy foreigner living in the Philippines. I never heard him complain. He never bitched and whined about Filipinos this and Filipinos that, and he never complained. He was happy, contented man. He married into a ready-made family of 3 children, and he loved those kids as his own, and they adored him. There was a little girl who, I don't know, what was she, maybe 1 or 2 years old, Beth?
I think when Alvin arrived, I think 1 year old or 2 years old, and now she's grade 1.
Yeah. And she is a beautiful child, and she absolutely owned Alvin. I used to joke about it when I used to see her with him, how much she adored him, and I used to say, that child owned you, and he would nod happily and say, yes, she does. And so it's a sad day for me.
Yeah, so it's really kind of, because it's unexpected, it's unexpected, and nobody is ready on that kind of scenario. But then it's just sad to think because Alvin is still young, 66, right?
67, I believe it was, which is not old.
And he got a beautiful family that really loves him, so just sad.
And it happened pretty
Very quick,
fast.
yeah.
He had a tumour on the liver, and unfortunately, as I think quite a few people are, he had an extreme sweet tooth. He used to love chomping down on a few donuts all in one, and then chocolate bars, and he didn't know that he was a diabetic. He just hadn't realized it. Oh, where are we going to park? Can we get in here, I wonder? Yes, we can.
Yeah.
So he didn't know that he was a diabetic, and they only found that out when he had some medical treatment before, and they found out that he was a diabetic. Unfortunately, all of that, if it all comes too late and it all adds up, the domino effect, and then with the trauma of the other surgery that he had, it was too much for him. So, saying goodbye to Alvin today, which I'd rather do now than later when we're looking at him in a coffin.
Then Tata said, that's okay when you're 27 years old.
That's what I would
How many days from school is it? I have a boyfriend. And then Tata said, I will hang in the tree. And then the first boyfriend that came in the house, I will hang in the tree so that no one will come here next month.
Yeah, so we just arrived from Tubigon, and as I said, it's not a nice, it's so painful visit because saying Alvin, so we've known Alvin for 6 years, right?
6 years.
At the first time we met them in McDonald's, so Alvin messaged us that he arrived in the Philippines, in Bohol, and have a Filipino girlfriend. And then that's where we go to McDonald and meet him in Tubigon. So it just
Did
sink in
so
on my
he
mind
got in
that,
touch with us, and
yeah. So
and
he's
then
a
we met-
subscriber
and we agreed to meet him
at Tubigon because that's where
In-
Vivian is, McDonald.
in McDonald's. Yeah.
You know, so it just sank in how time passed and how painful it is. You know, so yeah. Yeah, so we just arrived, you know, so we came from Tubigon and then handed a little help for the family.
And because there was some difficulty because of no passwords. In other words, not prepared for this. Alvin went downhill very, very fast. I've already said this, he was such an incredible guy, the kindest of people, always gentle, laid back, calm, and helpful. And the thing that stands out, which really it shouldn't really stand out. We should all be happy. We're over here. We're feeling a lot less stress. We're married to, in my case, I'm married to a lovely younger woman. Not that the younger thing keeps on being you're not being reminded of that constantly. After a while, it's like not even taking notice of how someone speaks, the accent, the difference. But it's this is a much more laid-back life. It's not so regulated as almost every expat that I speak to says this. But Alvin was a special case because he was contented. And we spoke to Vivian afterwards. I think that's probably on the video, isn't it, when we spoke to Vivian. You know, through the heartache, through the heartbreaking moments, we were able to remember and rejoice in the life of Alvin. And in fact, even though it was only just over 5+ years, they were such happy years for that family. He married into a ready-made family, 3 children, one of them just a year old, and those kids all adored him, which wasn't hard to do. He was a great guy.